Hey, it's me, Bad B, I'm back. So yesterday I had I think it was my 10th Herceptin with the new counting. It was scheduled for 2:30 because originally I had my Herceptins on Thursday, but it was Anzac Day on Thursday, so they don't do it on a public holiday. So I was changed to Friday at 2:30. I got there at about 2:20. I think I only waited about 10 minutes. I got taken into the big room, but I was in the corner. I had a new girl, as in a trainee nurse, I think, and she was being supervised by someone. She did really well. She was the girl, do you remember? She took my port out, and then they almost both forgot to do the flush. So it was her, but she was the one that remembered to do the flush, so that was lucky. She set everything up really good, asked me the questions. The supervisor's like, just refresh my memory. Does Herceptin need a filter? And she was like, yeah, I put it on. And then she's like, actually, Trastuzumab emtansine, which is Kadcyla, which is kind of like a chemo. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was this one and I thought I'd get ahead. That's fine. As a patient, I would rather she was more careful, and it's better to have one and then not need it rather than not have one and it's like, oh shit, you needed a filter. The infusion went well. I got out of there in record time, I think, because I got there at 2:20. My appointment was at 2:30. Oh yeah, I had an apple juice. I usually don't drink juice or anything like that, but I felt like I needed it. Oh, also, so when they were doing my obs, my blood pressure was normal. It was 110 over something. 110 over 72, which is really good for me. I've gotten into the Dashing Diva semi-cure gel nails. I don't know if you can see. But I left one nail off because they had to do the O2 sats finger thingy. I did that nail, but then also I wanted to check a nail that had the semi-cure on it to see if it would work, and it totally worked. So I think I'll just put all my nails on from now on. Got out of there about 3:45. The night before I couldn't sleep. I went to bed at 11, woke up at 1 and just lay there for the whole time, and I went for a run yesterday. I went to bed at about 9 after Herceptin. I was pretty tired. No, I fell asleep at about 10. Was it 11 again? I don't remember. I got up at 8:40 this morning and I was like, yeah, I should get up now. But then I must have fallen back asleep, and then it was 9:40 and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I really needed the sleep. Feeling good. 10 down, 4 to go. Oh, I also asked because flu's going around, everybody seems sick. Can I get the flu shot? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, do I have to wait for a certain time or can I get it whenever? And they're like, yeah, you can get it whenever because you're on Herceptin and not chemo, so it should be fine. So I'm gonna book that maybe Wednesday just because I don't want to get sick.
The next day.
On Saturday night, I caught up with my in real life Breastie and a daughter. We went and had Thai food. It was delicious. It was funny. There was this old white guy who was kind of the door bitch. He was greeting us. We had pad see ew. They hadn't had it before. Green curry and rice, which is always delicious.
But I don't like the
And I think an assortment of entrees, and it was really good. It was just so loud in there, but it was good. So we went to San Churros and I got a Spanish hot chocolate, which was amazing. It was so thick. And we shared this churro plate for two, which came with strawberries, banana, two dipping sauces. So one was chocolate and one was caramel and churros. It was amazing. I had so much fun. Really worried about her though, because she said her lungs have been hurting and she had to stop her chemo because she's got MBC. She's the nicest lady too. And she brought these flowers for my mother-in-law from the garden. It was really sweet.
The next day.
I thought I'd go through a catch up with one of my Jet friends that I realized we've been friends for 10 years now because I was on Jet in 2013 and I hadn't seen her since 2017. So 5 years, no wait, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 years, 8 years. Oh, it's crazy. Anyway, so she lives in Pascoval. We decided to meet in Melbourne, which was kind of halfway in. We found this little cafe called Tonic and Grace. The menu was kind of trying to be cool because it had funky names for everything. It was pretty empty, but I guess it was a Monday mid-morning. I got the protein plate, which came with spinach, mushrooms, homemade baked beans, 2 poached eggs, and a sweet potato waffle. The mushrooms were amazing. So I was most looking forward to the waffle. The mushrooms, oh my goodness. And I was so full. It was so filling. It was just so nice to see her. And you know those friends where you haven't seen each other in a long time and you don't really talk often, but when you see each other, it's like no time has passed. Trying to just get back into the social aspect of everything.
The next day.
Yesterday, I had a pretty big hospital day, I guess, or health day. Originally, I was meant to have my ECG in February, but then something happened with the referral and it never went through. When they could finally book me, it was April 23rd and I was away. So then I asked to have it postponed and they were like, oh, the earliest available appointment right now is June 12th. And I was like, okay, it's meant to be every 3 months. That's why I wanted to get ahead of it. They were like, okay, we'll put you on a cancellation list. They called me and were like, oh, are you available tomorrow at 9:45? So I was like, hell yes. I had my ECG and I think this woman, Yvette, was the most thorough I'd ever had. She was explaining everything she was doing and checking everything. And I think the appointment took longer than it usually does. Then afterwards, I decided to go to the shops because I needed to check my eyes. They say that chemo can adversely affect your eyesight, and I'm already short-sighted, but I hadn't checked my eyes since I think 2021. Yeah, 2021, because I mostly wear contact lenses. And I mentioned then that I was concerned that if the power of the contact lenses or glasses was stronger, that my eyes would get worse because of that. And I get headaches. So they said, we'll lower the power and hopefully that'll help. This was my first time getting them checked since cancer and for 2 years. It had been a while. But in Australia, it was the first time I'd had them checked in 4 years. I'd got them done at Specsavers. I had the pre-eye tests. You just had to look at a balloon that was going in and out of focus. And then the pressure test for glaucoma, which I absolutely hate, where they blow puffs of air in your eye. And I'm like trying to keep my eye open, but it was really hard. I waited a little bit and the optometrist came out to see me and she was young and Asian. I was like, yay, because I feel like if you're Asian, then another Asian person understands you more. I don't know, maybe it's just me. She was really good and explaining everything and got down my history, and she said chemo usually just makes your eyes drier, I've found. And I was like, okay, cool. And then she checked my eyes and she was like, okay, so they've both gotten a little bit worse, but it's just age and time. So nothing terrible. I have an astigmatism in my left eye, but it turns out now I have one in my right eye. And she's like, did they pick that up last time? And I was like, I don't think so. Now it's going to be harder to tell my contacts apart because one of them's like, astigmatism. And she's like, no, it turns out they did write it down, but it was too slight. They didn't have contacts for that. So now I do have contact lenses for astigmatism in both eyes. And I was like, can I get bifocal lenses? Because then I feel my eyes won't deteriorate as fast. And she's like, no, well then it won't fit your eye properly because of the astigmatism. And I was like, it'll be more expensive. And I was like, oh. So the eye test itself was free, which was awesome. And they had a little area, the contact lens station, for me to put my contacts back in. Then I had a look at some glasses after. It's hard for me to find glasses in Australia, in a Western country, because I have a giant head. The way my facial features are, I need Asian fit glasses. But then I thought, can I use sunglass frames as regular glasses frames? And they were like, yeah, sure. But then because the frames were so big, they would have to go out at the ends. And with my prescription, even with thinning, they would have been so thick, 6 millimeters thick. Okay, I guess not. I'll try smaller frames. Glasses frames, they're designed to hide the thickening, so they've got little bits at the ends. And I found these two cute pairs. I think one was by Alex Perry, or were they both by Alex Perry? I can't remember, but they were kind of cat eye-ish. They were both metal frames, pretty cute. I think they were gold or rose gold. So they'll be ready in a few weeks. And it was $443 for one pair, or $487 for two pairs. And I was like, well, I'll get 2 pairs then. Yeah, it's a good deal because it's 2 for 1 on frames or something like that. But apparently, I don't know, that's not a good deal. I don't know. So after that actually took a while, 2 hours. Had some rolled for lunch. Then at 4:30, I had a flu shot at the Priceline pharmacy near my house. They didn't say how much it was, so I'm like, well, it can't be that much. I think it has to be like $20 or maybe less. Waited a little bit because I got there early. It hurt going, so the pharmacist did it in this consultation room, and it hurt a little bit going in, and I think I saw the cotton ball and it bled a bit, but it was fine. They gave me a little Priceline Band-Aid to put on top of it. It's pretty cute. I know that pharmacist, he prescribes my Exemestane, and usually they're like, can you wait here for 15 minutes before you leave? But they didn't say that. I also got a couple of things. I'll just show you the things that I got. I got these masks at TK Maxx, super cheap. I also got some OP Infinite Shine, this is such a good price. It was only $10. Yeah, I've paid like 25 at Maya before. Overall, it was a good day. I'm working tomorrow. That'll be good. I think I'm gonna not wear a wig for the first time. Hope the kids aren't mean to me. Stay tuned.